Next person is asking, I love Nightmare, but are there going to be any B-sides from the record that are going to be released later on?
Hold up real fast on that one.
Sunglasses.
Here we go.
This is why Johnny's
Redemption.
so cool. Now he's cool. There you go.
Mr.
I don't know
America.
if you can see those.
Mr. Kurt
They
Angle.
can see it.
They can see it.
You can see the Mr. Americas?
Mr. America.
Yeah,
That's your new name.
get up in there.
I've had to sit next to this guy all day in photo shoots.
Dead serious
With
answers.
everyone asking if you can see through them or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think he'd wear them if he couldn't see anything? Just say. All right, so back to the question. B-sides from Nightmare, are there going to be any that come out later on down the road?
There's only one other song, and I'm sure it will come out someday. Someone will twist our arm,
And we'll kick their ass.
and then we'll release it.
Speaking of Nightmare, which came out this week, there is a fan of yours who seems like a very super fan and says, myself, along with your other fans, have taken up the cause to help get your record to #1. But are you going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen?
Pissed.
Yes. So disappointed.
Pissed. It is what it is. I mean, it definitely makes a statement, and I think we're doing extra promotion for this record because we want to spread Jimmy's legacy, and this is his last bit of work that he's ever going to do. And so, yeah, I want this one to be huge. I've texted people. I've never done that on a record before, and I just don't give a shit anymore because I want it to be huge. His family wants it to be huge. Our fans want it to be big. So fuck yeah.
At the end of the day, we've already exceeded, expectations of what this record can do, especially on a first week. So at the end of the day, we just want our fans to enjoy it. It takes a while to digest. It's hard to take a record like this and just listen to it 1 or 2 or 5 times and really understand it completely. But it would be very cool if it was #1. Obviously, that's a huge accomplishment, and I think it would send a message to the world. There's not very many metal bands or even rock bands that even come close to putting a record out and being #1, especially this day and age. So it'd be awesome.
This next person kind of sounds like a hardcore fan too, and they're saying, as a big fan of Avenged Sevenfold, I've noticed at your shows that you have one of the strongest fan bases I've ever seen. You're likely to gain more popularity because of Nightmare. Did you ever expect to release 6 albums and have this much of a loyal group by the time you're in your late 20s?
Oh, man. We've always been big dreamers, I guess, but, until it happens, it's such a slow process. Our fan base has been so supportive of us. And, I couldn't ever tell you 10 years ago that I really expected this, but you always dream about it. And we've just been working hard for a long time and trying to write good records, and we've done it in a way that I think has a lot of credibility to it. We've just written songs we want. We've always changed. We've always just been true to ourselves, and we try to completely service the fans and, stay involved as much as possible. So, I don't know. It's awesome.
Yeah. 28. It's funny that the world considers us young. I feel like an old ass man.
My knees hurt.
And you guys are all 28, fuckheads.
Yeah, you're the old man.
I'm not.
Oh.
Yeah, we are young, dude.
Johnny's liver is 45.
Yep. Used to be 6'2".
The alcohol shrunk me.
People ask this question a lot, but I think it's actually a good question when you're talking to a rock band who's played a lot of shows around the world. What do you think has been, personally or as a band, your best live show, and what do you think was the worst experience ever?
Well, I'll go for the worst experience ever. I definitely got that one. Let me get a little drink of this, whatever it is. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's in the middle of gotcha. I fell off the stage during a guitar solo with nobody else on stage with me, coincidentally in Montreal, which we just played. I redeemed myself and shredded it up the other night, but no, I actually fucked up again.
I was going to bring them up on stage, by the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want to do that to that guy. I can't.
Yeah,
Remember when this guy
appreciate
fell?
that. Yeah, we'll just tell it to, that many more people on camera. But yeah, I was doing a guitar solo, and it had been raining, and I used to jump back and forth in between risers and stuff like that, and I knew damn well that I shouldn't have done it before I did it, but I went for it anyway, because them Shadows would have went for it, He jumps all over the fucking stage, and so I thought, I might as well try it. Yeah, and I slipped, and the worst part about it was that as I was slipping, it wasn't really that fast, so I thought I could make it look kind of cool and do like a weird somersault, acrobatic little somersault thing, and I just kind of half laid there and couldn't really move, and then my legs hit me in the head, and my hat came off, and it just really lengthened that
His wig fell off.
horrible process. And then, no leg.
Bret Michaels it.
Yeah, so then I got back up and finished the solo and cried.
I was in the backstage and I heard and the guitar solo stopped and everyone's all, he fell. I'm all, no. And I ran to look and there's Gates doing a little flip on the stage.
A butt wiggle.
A butt wiggle.
I did a laugh solo.
Yep.
Shortly following the fall.
My favorite show ever was Sonosphere 2009. Yes, 2009. So the last show we played with the Rev, it was with Metallica. And it was in front of probably 100,000 people in England. And I think the show was full of swagger. And we played great, and I was really happy with it. And I think it turned a lot of heads. And I remember just going up there and just trying to kick ass. And we just had a great time. And Jimmy had this huge beard. I had long hair. We all looked scruffy and ridiculous. And I remember that night. That night we got kicked out of the London hotel for life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because Johnny and Jimmy were scouring through the halls and eating everyone's room service, and they
The
ran.
trays that they'd already put out when they were done with their food. were
And so
scrambled.
a billionaire, I guess, had this crazy room, and he came out and saw Jimmy and Johnny eating his food, drunk as fuck, and the guy's like, "Hey, get out!" And Jimmy and Johnny were like, "Fuck you!" and just kept eating it. And so we got kicked out of that hotel for life, and then we took our plane flight back, and it was the most embarrassing, horrendous plane flight of all time. You have Jimmy walking the aisles, falling on people and yelling at Johnny, get over here. And everyone's trying to sleep on the whole flight. It was unbelievable. But it was always funny with that guy. You know, he was just always, you could never be mad at him for longer than 0 seconds. So it was a great show though, and we had a good time, and I'm glad he ended his career with his favorite band, Metallica. That was something he always wanted to do, was to play with Metallica, and we got to do that quite a bit in his life, which was awesome.
You guys sound like a ball to travel with.
Not when you're not in the mood for it.
So we've got a few more questions coming in from fans all over the place. This one is out in LA. I've read in interviews that you say you're regular readers of your fan site, deathbatnews.com, and recently you had the webmaster come out to LA and hang out. How was that?
That was awesome. I was told by our record label.
I'm trying to count the seconds in between Zach's pauses. You're like Barack Obama, you know, he really thinks about things.
Yeah.
The moonlight. The light bulb had turned off. Basically, Warner was like, hey, we're flying out Courtney from Death Bat News to do a review on the album. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, she's going to be fucking bored to death because there's nothing that exciting to do at Warner Bros. I was like, that's how you're going to, you know, take a big fan, fly her to Warner to listen to the album. I was like, why don't you just send her a copy of the album? You know, I was like, why don't you have her come to my house and fucking hang out? Like, something that would be cool. I'd like to talk to her. I know she's a big fan, and I get an absolute kick out of talking to our fans and knowing what they like and knowing, you know, what it is about us that they like and stuff.
How we can service them.
How we can service them. The ebbs and flows of no, but so yeah, I wanted to meet her. You know, I have found out more about my own band on that website.
Me too.
I found out about tour date. Yeah, it's like
Thanks, Courtney. Half the time I don't know what the hell we're doing, but I read your website and then I'm like, all right, that's what we're doing.
yeah, so that was cool. She was great.
Sometimes I even see things on there and I have to call my management and yell at them.
Yeah, me too.
Like, we're doing this, really? I don't remember that.
Me too.
So, that's an awesome website. Good community. We have a couple good ones. Chapter 4 is great. Deathbat News is great. There's, you know, it's just awesome, man. We got the greatest fans in the world, and we're really appreciative of it.
Yep.
Speaking of Deathbat, this guy wants to know, the first time you used the Deathbat, did you think it was going to become such an iconic symbol?
Yes.
We hoped for it.
Yeah.
That's why we went for it. We wanted something that could represent us without words. And I think that's really cool, and a lot of bands have that. You know, Iron Maiden with his Eddie and Misfits and all that kind of stuff. So.
Misfits have skull.
It's true.
They've got skull.
This question's kind of funny, and I'm actually curious what the answer is.
Oh my God.
Zach,
Yes.
if you could spend the day with Walt Disney, what would you do?
Oh, wow.
Suck his dick.
I can spend a day with Walt Disney. Fucking uncryogenically freeze myself. If I fucking, I don't know, call me Mickey Mouse or something. Saying I'm Mickey fucking Mouse.
So funny, ha!
If I could spend a day with Walt Disney, I'd be in really bad shape. I'd prefer to go hang out with Jimmy.
All right. I would hang out with Walt Disney.